welcome, my friends. This is Master K, once again connecting to your soul, throwing you some love today, throwing you some sunshine, and of course, throwing you some spirituality so that you can tap into your higher, powerful self. So welcome to my latest video. I have a question for you. Have you been here before on this earth? Yeah? Do you go places and you recognize those places like you were there a few years ago, but you've never been there? Do you get deja vu? Yeah? Do you dress a certain way? Well, I'll tell you what, today's subject, we're talking about reincarnation. That's right. Signs you have been here before. And today, my friend, I give you 10 signs. Yeah, 10 signs just to show you that you could have been here before. So stay tuned and let's go right now. So as we discuss this topic together, I'm going to give you my own personal past life experiences where I've brought a lot of things from my past life into this life. So here we go. So number one then is this. You have a very strong feeling you have been here before, and this comes from your soul, from your gut, from your spiritual inside. So this is number one, a strong feeling you've been here before. Now, in my own personal experience, I've had quite a few past lives, quite a few. And I've always had this feeling, and I've always had my feeling since I was about 5 years old, why I'm here on this earth. I'm here to help other people. So we get a strong feeling inside of us that we've been here before, and we have a job to do here. We've come back to do a job. We have purpose. So that's number one. Number two. And number two is deja vu. Now you get a strong feeling that you've been somewhere before. You know, maybe you go on holiday somewhere, or maybe you go to a different town, and you go there and you feel really relaxed, and you feel memories coming back. You recognize certain parts of that area, that place, that town, that city. Deja vu can also mean that you will be drawn to going back to places from your past life. It could also mean that. Deja vu could mean you think and remember certain things in history because you were there in a past life. So that's number two, deja vu. Number three, you have a very strong feeling inside of you and connection with Egypt or Atlantis. I'm just pointing those out. It could be Greece, could be Rome, could be anywhere like that. But you have this gut feeling. You came from Egypt or Atlantis, or like I say, it could be somewhere else like Greece, Rome. You know, real strong gut feeling. And you remember things from that time. Perhaps you remember where Atlantis is, under the sea. Yeah? Perhaps you have memories from Egypt. In my own personal experience of Egypt, in my past lives, I've had 2 past lives in Egypt. And both those lives, I was a high priest. Yeah? Serving the king, the pharaoh, and serving the queen. Yeah, I used to bless the food, bless the crops, bless the land. And also used to do a lot of magic back there. The first magic trick actually came from Egypt. Yeah, and this has been proven, and it was somebody taking the head off of a bird. Now this is quite easy to do. You just hide the head, bend it down and put it under the wing. Hold the wing tight. So it's quite easy magic trick to do. But in Egypt, there was also real magic. Yeah, we did a lot of real magic there also. So straight into number 4, and number 4 is this: a spirit medium will tell you and remind you of your past life. Or this could be another human, another person will trigger you to remember. Now, I get a lot of people come to me and they say, oh, Master K, can you take me back in time? Can you hypnotize me? Can you let me, make me remember my past life? And I say, well, let me tap into this energy. Yeah, let me give you some trigger words. And this has happened to me. I've had 2 mediums come up to me and tell me about my past life. And one of those past lives I can't even remember, not even now. Even if I concentrate on it, I cannot remember. But this medium, this other spiritual person, really strongly remembers me being at a certain place at a certain time. I can't remember. I can remember a lot of my past lives. And sometimes our past lives don't always come to us. Yeah, it takes time. Yeah, we might get signs to help us remember. So that's number 4. Number 5, you have inner knowledge about civilization, how they lived, what they did. Yeah, nobody's told you these things. And when you look up these things, this knowledge that you have inside of you about this, yeah, it's all true. It's all true. And maybe sometimes you've had knowledge, or you have knowledge that nobody knows about. Now in Egypt, I remember the slaves making bricks out of horses, camels' dung, straw, mud, yeah, camel poop. Yeah, and they used to stamp on this with their feet, put it in wooden boxes, yeah, little, that had the shape of bricks, put this into the boxes and just let it dry in the sun, and you had a good solid brick come out as the end result once it was baked in the sun. So that's number 5. You have inner knowledge about how a civilization used to live. So number 6 is this: you bring your past hobbies, your skills and memories into this life, and you use them. So you use your skills from your past lives, and you definitely bring your hobbies into this life. Now let me give you an example of mine. So one of my personal hobbies that I brought into this life from my past life in Egypt is encaustic painting. You don't actually paint with a paintbrush, you paint with a hot iron. I've got about 5 different irons, and you paint by putting beeswax, coloured beeswax onto the iron, and then putting that melted beeswax onto card, onto shiny card. And by moving it, with the end, lifting it, twisting it, lifting it, you get totally different, amazing effects. Most of my paintings are in storage, so I've just got a couple here. So that's one of my hobbies. So maybe you find you have a fantastic hobby in this life, and maybe you've just brought that hobby from your past life. So I find this fascinating. I didn't really realize it first of all, and then it suddenly clicked. So here's one of my small pictures. Like I said, that was done with a 1950s iron. Another one representing looking out from the ground, and another one. Right, straight into number 7. 7 is you meet your twin flame from your past life here in this life, and you both remember doing the same things together. Wow. Now, I've personally met my beautiful twin flame, yeah, in this life. I've also met another two people from two different past lives of mine. And remember, energy can't die. It's a scientific proven fact. Energy cannot die, it goes on, yeah? So we should be able to live our past lives side by side in this life. And I often go back with my twin flame, and I go back to, a couple of my past lives together, and we do things and we live that past life side by side alongside this one. So think of that. Twin flame. Have you met your twin flame? Sometimes we meet our twin flame and we can't stay together. We love each other, but we keep rebounding, we keep splitting up. Yeah, getting back together, splitting up, getting back together, arguing with each other. Yeah, and that is because we have not healed from the past lives. Okay, both sides of twin flames, male and female, they need to heal from their past lives. And sometimes twin flames bring that, problems and things like this from their past lives into this life. And it's just a process of going back in time, grabbing the fragments, the bad things that happened to them in the past and healing it in this lifetime. So I find this super fascinating. So that's number 7. Straight into number 8 now. So number 8 is you use symbols from your past life without realizing it. Yeah. Now, I'm drawn to beetles. I've always liked beetles. Yeah. Most of my life, I didn't know why, but it comes from my past life in Egypt. Yeah. Another thing I use is the lotus flower symbol. You'll see that on my flyers. You'll see that on some of my videos. The lotus flower, and a lot of people use it, a lot of spiritual people use this. It's a sign of rebirth because the lotus flower has such a struggle growing up through rocks, stones, weeds, strong roots, mud. Yeah, it grows up through all these things in the muddiest, dirtiest water, and it comes out really beautiful and sits on the top. And I use that lotus symbol in this life a lot, and so do other people. It came from Egypt. When we look it up and study the lotus, it came from Egypt. It was borrowed in Buddhism, and that's one of my symbols. So that's number 8. Perhaps you use a symbol in this life from your past life without realizing it. Have a think. Number 9 is phobias. So you bring a phobia into this life from your past life. Now, what are your phobias? Some people got spiders, some people are scared of heights, some people are scared of water, and so on and so on and so on. Yeah, so it might be worth looking into that and studying your phobia. Where did it come from? I mean, sometimes we can explain our phobias. My mother, she was thrown in the swimming pool when she was 5 years old, and she couldn't swim at the time, and she's never swam since. She is scared of water. So sometimes we can get phobias from this life. But what I'm saying is sometimes phobias are brought in from our past lives. Yeah, I was taking someone back the other day that used to be a pirate. I used to be a pirate actually. But I took them back and they were terrified of water. I'm talking about deep water, black water, in the sea. And that's because in their past life, we found out that they died. Their boat smashed into rocks and they died sadly that way in that life. and they brought that phobia of being terrified of deep water, you know, I'm talking about the sea now, in this life. So that's 9. Phobias. It might be worth looking into what your phobias are right now. So straight into number 10. And number 10 is you dress differently, or you are drawn to certain types of clothes. Now, being British, being English, you know, when you dress differently, you can only really dress differently if you're famous or you go to somewhere like Glastonbury. I absolutely adore Glastonbury. And you'll see me dressed totally different some days if you ever bump into me in Glastonbury. And my pirate theme from my last, you know, one of my past lives where I used to be a pirate, I bring my pirate sense of dressing into this life, but I can only do that in certain areas like Glastonbury or festivals or steampunk or things like this. If you're famous, it's easier because you can dress how you want to. You know, I love how Johnny Depp dresses. You know, you can actually dress how you want. So that's number 10. You dress differently. Yeah, because of how you used to dress in your past life. Final thought. Maybe you think of yourself as an old soul, and maybe people around you come to you with all their problems because you're great at fixing those problems, because you're a wise old soul, and people refer to you as an old soul. Maybe that comes from your past life. Thank you so much for being here right now. Thank you so much for subscribing. Stay tuned for my next video coming up here very, very soon. In the meantime, my friend, make space in your head for yourself and keep yourself up together mentally, spiritually, and physically. Take great care. See you soon. Namaste. Namaste.